I love that question. That's a new question. At least there's a new meaning to that question these days. And I haven't gotten to the bottom of what I feel about it, but it's great to talk about it because then that helps us get there, or at least advance the conversation. So hybrid theory was almost 12 years ago, okay? And it was the best-selling album in the world that year, which means that almost everybody who knew of it, which was a lot of people, had an opinion. They had a big, heavy opinion about the band and the album and whatever. There was Meteora, which followed it up, which solidified opinions. And then there was a period of a break where we kind of took time out to assess. And we came back with Minutes to Midnight, which was a slight departure. Then we followed up with 1,000 Suns, which was a massive departure. And kind of here we are now. And the 30-something-year-old people that were around and part of the hybrid theory movement, that point in time, they still have residual understanding of that point in time. They have in the same way that somebody who lived through New Wave and Depeche Mode, they have an opinion. It's very serious versus metal, rock or whatever's going on then. So we've got that. But then you've got all these young kids who are 14, 15, and the first time they heard Linkin Park was in the Transformers movie. And all they think of when they think of Linkin Park is New Divide and, 1,000 Suns in some case. I know some people, there was a guy that I talked to who literally he kind of knew of us before but didn't like us. And then his girlfriend was listening to this record and he came in and he thought it was basically this indie rock station from back home. And he was listening to it, he's like, oh, what are we listening to? And she's like, oh, this is Linkin Park. He said, what? It blew his mind. He loves that record, but he does not like our other stuff. And so it's there's this wide range of opinion and a very confusing and not confusing, but a complex connection network that goes on with all that stuff. And I think it's really I love that it's complex and it's weird, and I love being a part of this weird community where you've got people of various generations who are into the band for various reasons, and hopefully those reasons and those things they connect to are still a part of the band. I mean, still us. We're the same guys. We don't hate Hybrid Theory, and we don't hate 1,000 Suns. We don't regret any of those albums. We play them when we play live. So when they come to the show, they get to tap into that whatever moment that is.
The first time we ever played, that I remember ever playing a large festival, I think was either, it was a
Rock im Park or Rock im Ring.
I think it was Rock im Ring though. And we had it was off the first record, and we had the added stress or pressure of doing it playing at 5 o'clock in the evening. And so
and why
to
was
explain,
that a stress?
That, it was a stress for me because when you're playing a large venue, if it's night, there's the stage lights, everything else, you're kind of only limited to really being able to see what you can see in the first, say, call it 100 feet away from the stage. And so whether you're used to playing for 5,000 people or 10,000 people, if you're playing for 80,000 people at night, the energy will be bigger, but what you can see kind of still feels the same. If you do it in the daytime, though, you obviously have the ability to be seeing the entire mass of humanity. And so I distinctly remember that being that first real large stage we'd ever done, being handed my bass and kind of looking around and walking out and seeing that Braveheart-style army of people that's out there, and just kind of feeling that my body kind of say, nope, not going to do it. No, that's a little crazy. And then just being all right, this is what we've done a million times, and having it just be amazing and great. From that day forward, I mean, I think that those, in particularly Rock im Ring and Rock im Park, for me, have always been really cool and special festivals to play.